French saw a billboard like these up on the road that were put up by an atheist group near his town. He didn't take the matter sitting down. Instead, he put up his own sign outside of his restaurant defending the phrase, "Under God," in the Pledge of Allegiance and elsewhere in American culture. Bob French, the owner of French's Classic Restaurant, joins us right now from Raleigh. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. So there along the Billy Graham Parkway.
I mean, even the road is named after an evangelical Christian pastor, Billy Graham. And I mean, that's not good enough. It's not good enough to name the road after Billy Graham. Now we gotta make sure there ain't no atheist signs on there, or at least if there is, we counterproduct them with a whole bunch of other ones. Get them. Because obviously, the more billboards you have, the more correct you are in actuality.
Outside of Charlotte, this atheist group spent $15,000 to put up a billboard that said, "One nation, indivisible." What's missing from that?
God, under God.
This is the kind of tard that doesn't understand that under God was enacted during the McCarthy era, that it was just something put in there, by the Christian right. They slipped it in there, and you don't understand that the original had no mention of God, and that America is based on the separation of church and state and trying to get out from underneath the thumb of tyranny of religion. Doesn't understand any of that. He thinks, this is Christian nation and they is offending me by trying to say it ain't. Unless we not forget it was an atheist group that put up the sign, so why in the hell would they want to put the under God part in their sign? It's just like a Christian group wouldn't pay for a sign to be put up that questioned the existence of God. Duh.
And that rattled you so much, you decided to put up what kind of a sign outside of your restaurant?
I put "One nation under God" on my sign.
Yeah. Now, the atheist group, Bob, and anybody else, has every right to put up any sign they want to, right?
Absolutely. They have the First Amendment right, just as I do.
And so we were talking during the commercial, and you told me that you felt that these atheist groups sometimes, they take these signs just to rub people's noses in different things. And in this case, how do you feel about that?
Exactly. What are atheists rubbing your noses in? The fact that the original Pledge of Allegiance didn't have under God in it, that originally our money did not say "In God We Trust," that is not what the Founding Fathers wanted, and it is not the way it was for years and years and years and years after they were fucking dead and gone. We went and said, oh, now that they're gone, we can put "In God We Trust" on there. We can put fucking, just ridiculous. We under God in the Pledge of Allegiance makes it bullshit, because God divides the country. It divides the country. God divides the country. It makes it anything but indivisible, you dipshits, and more and more proof is you talking about it like you do. It's on the same level as if, let's say, a sports team became the champions and they put up a billboard saying, "Hey, we're number one," and the team that didn't win got offended because of it. They said, "Oh no, you can't rub our noses in it like that." Well, who came out on top, bitch? In case you're wondering, in this analogy, atheism is on top.
Well, the particular sign in my town in Wilmington is only about a half a mile from my business, so I have to look at it every day, along with about 30,000 plus other people. And we're a tourist area, and I think it's offensive. It doesn't set a very example for my city, I don't think, either.
It doesn't set a very example for my city, I think, either. I mean, this guy's so fucking retarded. Listen to him.
I think it's offensive. It doesn't set a very example for my city, I don't think, either.
Well, here, let me tell you something, motherfucker. I live in Orlando, and that is sure as hell a bigger tourist destination than whatever bullshit town you live in. And we get more tourists here than anything. Let me tell you what I get to look at every day on the way to and on the way back from work. Here's a picture of it. It's a 199-foot tall crucifix that's lit up, gaudy as fuck. But they didn't want to make it 200 feet or higher, because after 200 feet and higher, you have to put a blinking light on top for low-flying aircraft. So, you understand what I'm saying? spent over $1 million on this fucking thing. Not 15 grand like for the Atheist Billboard for a few months. $1 million for this permanent structure that is there forever, that will offend everyone that is not Christian. Any Muslim that wants to go to Disney World has to look at this fucking thing. Alright? So, fuck you. Fuck you, 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 fuck you.
So what's been the reaction so far?
From my customers,
Yep.
Very positive.
Okay.
Very positive. I put my sign up probably one day after they did.
Right.
And my sales increased probably, I think I checked yesterday, about 9% over the last 8 days.
And were people
Do the math.
bugged about, yeah, sure. Were people bugged about the atheist signs?
Ones I've talked to, yes. Yes.
All right. Well, Bob French from French's Classic Burgers out there in Raleigh, thank you very much for joining us on this Thursday and telling your story.
All right. Can I say one other thing?
Quickly.
My real concern is about where we're going with the court systems also. Once the courts get a hold of something like this, you look what happened in 1947 with Hugo Black and the separation of church and state. We look in 1961 with taking school out of the prayers, and in the 70s we took the Ten Commandments out of the schools.
We took the school out of the prayers, and then we took the Ten Commandments out of the schools and the courtrooms, and them Americans. You're a fucking idiot. You're just a plain old school motherfucking stupid motherfucker. I'm surprised you run a business. It probably went up from 0 to 9%, and you think it's because your retarded sign, but it's really because of the atheist sign up the road, and people just want to have a look at it and get a bite to eat. Fuck you, you're so goddamn stupid. I guarantee you'll be on Fox News again someday. Coctopus out.
Thank you, sir.